Hey everyone, today we're trying to discuss a few FAQs that I get on a repetitive basis. So this video is mostly targeted at newcomers and students, or if you just want to learn about your taxes when you've come new to Canada. And as an accountant, I do get these questions very, very frequently. So I thought I'll make a video and it'll help all of my clients or otherwise people who just want to learn a bit more about taxes and are curious. So yeah, let's just go straight into it. We'll be discussing about 14 points, and the ones that are highlighted I will go through with examples. So as of right now, let's go to point number one. So the most amazing question that I always get is how much refund I will get. Okay, so let me clarify something. Accountants are not in the business of getting you a refund. Accountants are in the business of filing your taxes correctly. And no accountant can tell you how much refund are you going to get without looking at all of your documents. So yeah, I my answer is still going to be the same. I need to see all of your documents, all of your income statements, all of your expenses, to kind of analyze and go through the numbers and then kind of give you a number. I cannot just throw out a random number and say that, hey, this is the refund or this is the payable that you're going to get. And it's not a rule that you will always get a refund. There might be cases where you might even owe tax. Irrespective of, whether you're a student, whether you're a low income earner, there are cases where you might even owe tax. So yeah, we can discuss this in detail based on a case to case basis. But there is no set way where I can say, okay, this is how much refund you will get. Number two, this is also a very, very common question. 2K is just an example over here, but hey, my friend got XYZ amount of refund. Even I want the same refund. So my answer to this is every situation is unique. I cannot give you a guarantee of just because your friend and you, you all might have started your college together, things might be similar, but they're not exactly the same. So even if you go to a doctor, even siblings, they can have two completely different medical conditions, even though they are like, biologically related and everything. But it all depends on a very, very specific case to case basis. And that's the beauty of taxes. It's very case specific. So even though two people they start their journeys in Canada together, their tax situation might be totally different based on whether they are married, whether the amount of fees they are paid, whether their jobs that they're doing, if they are self-employed, the investments that they make, their medical conditions, and a lot of other factors. So it's not a straight answer where I can say that just because your friend got so much, you will also get so much. No, that's a total that's a very wrong misconception that people have out there, that just because somebody else got a refund, you will also get a refund. So no, it's not the same. Number three, okay, I did not make any income. Should I file taxes? So my simple answer would be yes, because there are multiple benefits of filing your taxes. So say if you have zero income, you're in the low earner income bracket, like low, and because Canada is a uh, progressive taxation system, if you are in a low income bracket, you kind of get benefits from the government. So even if you have not made any income in the first year, I would still strongly suggest, because the government pays you for making no income. So yeah, it's free money, number one. Number two is, because it's the first year, you cannot get digital access to your CRA account. So you need your notice of assessment to get your digital access. So only if you file your taxes, you're able to get your notice of assessment, and then you can get digital access to your CRA account. Your CRA account also helps you to reply to your notices digitally. Also, it helps you to track your notice of assessments, and it also helps you to track your benefit payout. So, you know what? You don't have to call your accountant every time that, hey, when am I going to get your benefits? When am I going to get my refund? Blah, blah, blah. It's all there on your CRA account. But the first time, you need to file your taxes in order to get access to your CRA account. Okay, number four. This is a very, very famous, uh, misconception out there about welcome to Canada. Welcome to Canada benefits. Okay, let me make this very, very clear. There is no such thing as welcome to Canada benefit. What people normally refer to are your provincial benefits, which are for low income earners, and anyone, trust me, anyone who is in the low income bracket can apply for this. It depends on the province from where you reside, but literally anybody can apply for this. It's all based on the income, and there is no such thing as welcome to Canada. Anybody and everybody can apply for it. If you're making, let's give you an example, say less than 50K, anybody in Canada who's making less than 50K can apply for provincial benefits. I'm just giving you an example. Each province has a different threshold for low income, and based on that they're given certain benefits in a year. So there is no real concept of welcome to Canada benefits. Anyone and everyone can apply for that. This is just a marketing stunt by a lot of the accountant firms that want businesses, and they say that, hey, file your taxes so that you get welcomed, so that I will give you a welcome to Canada benefit. No, the accountant is not special in giving you the benefit. It's eligible for anyone and everyone, and even you can directly go on the website and apply for it. So yeah, it's just that at the time of filing your taxes, they apply it together. So it just helps the accountant as well as you, but it's not special. Anybody and everybody can apply for this benefit based on your income. Number three and four. So number five and six. I mean, when will I get my benefits and when will I get my refund? So if you're filing for the first time, the average processing time for the CRA is like 1 to 3 months, I would say, on an average. Because the first time, if there's an issue with your name, you've sent your documents through paper file. There might be delays in processing if you have sent stuff through paper, or if you have e-filed, you've electronically filed. By the time you get your checks at home, it might take time. So I say roughly between 1 to 3 months. If not, you can always call the CRA and ask them for a status. But if you're a repeat filer, you have access to your CRA account. Your CRA account is the best go-to place. You can see all your information on what exact date you're going to get your benefits and what exact date you're going to get your refund. So your CRA account is the best place to go. You don't need to ask your accountant, hey, when will I get my money? Or, when will I get my benefits? It's all there in your CRA account. Okay, number seven is very interesting. I also get this quite a lot. Say someone tells me that, hey, I just earned $2,000. It's too small, or I just sold shares worth $100. It's again too small. Why do we even show it? Like, let's not declare it. So the best part, I'll show you an example also. One of my client also got a notice for this, and they earned just $2,000, and they had not declared this to me. I filed based on, because they were filing for the first time, I didn't have access to their account. I cannot see what's there in their account because there was a name issue and all. Let's not get into the technicalities, but yeah, the client did not declare this to me, saying that it was too small. And guess what? CRA already had this information because their SIN was tracked. And they already said this this is a screenshot of their notice of assessment. And they already said this in their notice of assessment, that we changed your return to include the following on your T4 slips. This was the employer name, blah, blah, blah restaurants, and your total employment income is 2018. So when we filed, we declared total income as zero, but CRA already had the information of 2018 and they went in and changed the amount. So yeah, just because you don't declare things to your accountant, it doesn't mean that CRA doesn't have the information. They already have the information, especially if you're working on your SIN. I would strongly suggest that even if it's $1, just declare it. It's not worth hiding any of your income because the CRA has the information already. Okay, the next question is, okay, if I earn 2000 in cash, let's not declare it. It's too small. How will CRA find out? So again, if you earn in cash, you are risking a lot of things because there are legal consequences for tax evasion and a lot of legalities involved for not declaring income. Now that is basically your choice whether to work on cash or not, because the risk is based on the taxpayer. But there was a case which one of my um, clients' references had got audited, and they were all working at a hotel, and the CRA came and audited the hotel. and one of the friends over there was also working in cash. And the cash register, this was not declared in the taxes, in the business, in the hotel's taxes, but somehow the CRA got hold of that register, and they had documents of who the cash was paid. So that's how the people working on cash were also caught. Now, what happened to them? That's between IRCC and the people who are working on cash, whether their immigration status was cancelled, whether they were deported, plus the CRA has legal actions to take against them for tax evasion. So all of that risk is solely based on the taxpayer. I do not advise right or wrong. I don't know. It's based on what the taxpayer wants to do. But yeah, there are risks involved. If you're working on cash and you don't declare it and you're caught, then yeah, it's totally on you. What is an audit by CRA? I make very little income. I'm a student, and why will I be audited? This is this misconception that only big people are audited, but this is my personal experience. I can show you point number 9. This is none other than my wife's return. The first return that I ever filed was my wife's return, and guess what? I got audited. So it was just for 1,165, and this was the notice that she got. She said that a review shows that you're claiming RPP contributions for $1,165. To support this claim, we need an official receipt. We need to show that the plan is registered. So we need to show that, okay, you're claiming a deduction. Show me that the pension plan is registered. Show me the entire amount of contribution. Show me the date of contributions, blah, blah, blah. They wanted all of these many proofs. So you see the number of lines. They wanted all these proofs for just $1,000. Plus, they also had given us a time limit. So they said that if we don't get your response within 30 days, this amount of claim that you have put in would be totally disallowed. And, it would be zeroed out. So yeah, CRA works on a very, very strict deadline. We end of the day, we handled it because I knew exactly where this amount was coming from. But yeah, if you don't respond to them, they will just disallow this amount in your return, and you will end up have to pay taxes on a wrong deduction or a wrong amount that you have taken. So don't have this misconception that you might not be audited. Anyone and everyone can be audited. It's totally random. And if you are audited multiple times, the CRA flags your account, and then, every single expense or income that you put on in your tax return is scrutinized. So I would say just try to be, if you're claiming any expense, make sure that you have the backups or you have bills for it. Don't just make up expenses in thin air because the CRA will come after you. Okay, number 10 is my spouse and child are not coming along with me to Canada. Should I declare this to my accountant? Yes, there is again a misconception that just because my spouse and child are in India, I don't need to file their taxes and I don't need to declare this to my accountant. I would say, you know, it's partly true, but there is also a deduction available for your spouse if your spouse is not working in India. You have to go through my previous video which says basic personal credits. So you can claim their basic personal credits also in your return. So guess what? You get 15,000 of your basic credits and your spouse is 15,000. So you get a total of $30,000 worth of basic personal credits if your spouse is not working. So yes, you should declare all information to your accountant truthfully and honestly. Even though they are not tax residents of Canada, you can still get some or the other benefits for declaring certain information. So don't assume things that just because they are not in Canada, they don't have to file taxes. Yes, they don't have to file taxes, but you can get some benefit out of it. So yeah, discuss with your accountant to make sure what is a dependent spouse. How does the CRA communicate with me? So also a lot of clients of mine have been, some of them have got messages saying that please click on this link, your refund is due from CRA and all. Again, big scam. Another one of my client got a notice at their doorstep, like in the physical mail, but again, it's a big scam. So be very careful of the scammers out there. If you have any query or if you get any call, I would say ask for the agent ID, but don't give them any information. So ask for the agent ID, ask them what the call is regarding, and say you will call back. After that, you can call back with them and give the agent ID and say that so and so person called me from the CRA. Is this call legit? Plus, you can also verify in your mail section for notices. People do not send from the CRA, they do not send any text messages and do not send any links. So if you go to your mail section, let me show you how it looks. Yeah, this is how your mail section looks. So when you have full access to your CRA account, go into mail over here. And once you go into mail, it will give you all your notices. So you see all of these notices, these are official communication from the CRA that you will see in your account. So if you have anything over here, it means it's an official communication. If you still have questions, you can always call them and verify with them that say, I got a notice. Is this a legit notice or it's not a legit notice? So yeah, first check your mail, check, call them and verify. And if you get a call, 99% you will not get a call. But in my case, I had got a call. I called, I asked the agent ID and I verified back and called the CRA and they said, yes, it was a legit call. So there might be times where they need information very, very urgently and they might call you, but do not supply any information to anyone if you get a call. Just take down the agent ID, call back, and then give them the information. And also check your mail before responding or giving out any information to anyone who says that they are the CRA. So yeah, just don't be a victim of fraud because of this. So always safeguard your information. Okay, I am married. Why aren't both of us getting benefits? So yeah, this is another concept which a lot of married couples you know go through, and including my personal situation. So if you are married, your income and your spouse's income are treated as one. It's clubbed under one, and it's treated as household income, and only any one of you is eligible to claim benefits. So in my case, my wife was first a student. She used to file her own taxes individually. I used to file mine individually. But when we got married, we had to repay part of our benefits because now both of us are claiming the benefits. So we actually even got a notice from the CRA. I'll show you this. And this is very common. It happens all the time. So you see this, it says GST HST credit. We determined that you are no longer eligible to receive GST HST payments. Please see the explanation below. So it says, okay, I have to pay back, like my wife had to pay back the $116.75. It also says this, you are not eligible, blah, 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 because your spouse or common law is the family applicant. So there's only one applicant per family. I cannot, I and she together cannot put in two applications for benefits. So if you have done so, and at that time you were not married, expect to get a notice from the CRA asking for a repayment, you know, uh, for the period when you were married, or even if you're a common law. So yeah, so just be clear about this concept that yeah, only one person can apply from a family. Number 13, okay, what does my accountant give to me after filing taxes, and how do I know that my taxes have been filed? So there are a lot of clients that have come to me, and when I ask them for their previous accountant's details, they do not really know what information their accountant is supposed to give. So let me clarify. There are three main documents that your accountant has to give you. One is your T1 general, one is your T1 summary, and one is an e-filing confirmation reference number. So we'll go through both of your T1 general and T1 summary in point number 14. But what is an e-filing confirmation reference number? I'll just go to the bottom. Yeah, you see this? My accountant give me after taxes. Okay, it gives you a confirmation number like this, 7A, blah, blah, blah. It gives you the date and time of filing. It gives you your DCN, like this number, like it's the same, the confirmation number. This number is what your accountant has to give you, number one. They also have to give you your T1 general and your T1 summary. Now, what is like, we'll go through point number 14, and a lot of people ask me, like, okay, what am I supposed to do with these documents? Because, okay, now I've given it to them, and now what are they supposed to do? So it's very simple. We can go through an example very, very high level. Now, this is your T1 copy, this is how it looks. All the information over here is fake. It's all made up information. But just for you to understand, like, what are you looking at? So look at your first name and your last name. So if you have a middle name, also it should show up under your first name. Make sure that this name is the same as you see in your SIN. So this name has to be accurate. Second, look at your SIN paper from CRA. Check if your number is correct, your SIN number. Check your date of birth is correct. Check your mailing address. So this has to be your current mailing address. Make sure that you're updating your accountant with your current mailing address. Check your email ID. Check whether your marital status is correct. Are you single, married, common law, blah, blah, blah. Where do you reside? So check your province of residence. If your spouse's information is also over here, then check that your uh, spouse's details are over here. So the first name is here. If they are a non-resident, they will not have a SIN. But if they are a resident, then make sure your partner's SIN is also here. Plus, you will see your partner's income over here if they are a resident. Also check if you have a self-employed business, which province are you registered. So if you have say, so for me, I have a tax filing business. I am registered in Ontario. So make sure wherever you are registered, you declare the province. Then other things like, okay, check if you are a citizen, if this is ticked correctly, if yes or no. If you are indigenous, if there are certain deductions for them, see if this box is ticked or no. This is for climate action initiative. If you are living outside any of these major areas, like all the big cities, if you're living outside the big cities, then yeah, you need to check this box. If you have any foreign property, which is more than 100,000, yeah, you need to check this box. Yes. Then this is for, you know, this is specific to a province. So this is for Ontario, wherein do you want to share this information with the Ontario government? If yes, then inform your accountant, blah, 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 blah. So the first two pages are just personal information. Make sure that you check your personal information very, very thoroughly. Make sure there are no errors. If there are errors, just, send them back to your accountant right away. Next is your total income section. So you can check, like, I've assumed that your student over here is making $25,000. So you can see your employment income. This is all your T4 line items. So say the person is making $25,000, then these are all the other kind of incomes. Say if they have rental, if they have childcare benefits, if they have old age security, like all of the different incomes. But for a year, this section is your total income section. So say all your incomes, they are added up to $25,000. Then if you have business income, profession income, blah, 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 that shows up over here. So in this case, I've assumed that the person does not have any professional income, just have total business income. So that's 25,000. Then you go down. Then it shows you all the expenses that you can claim. So this is your net income section. So if you have pension, the same notice that I had got for my spouse, right? I had got this notice that I was claiming a pension deduction, and the government wanted to see all proofs for that. So make sure any expenses that you are claiming over here, you have necessary proofs. So this is your income minus expense, and you pay. So say, for example, your income was 25. Say I was claiming $5,000 as RRSP or any kind of deduction, then my net income will be 25 minus 5. That should be net over here 20,000. So this is the income on which I'm taxed. So in here I don't have any deduction. I'm just paying tax on 25,000. So in this case, my taxable income is 25,000. Then these are the calculations for my federal tax. And here is the basic personal credit. So $15,000 out of the 25 is basically not subject to federal tax. And then we go down, 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 down. These are all calculations. You can skip this part. Federal tax. Okay, so this section says that I owe about 1,294, 12, $1,294 of federal tax on $25,000 of income. Again, it says net federal tax, yeah, 1,294. Okay, that's good. And now I have provincial tax. So my provincial taxes, I have $300 that I have owed to the Ontario government. So this goes to the federal government, this goes to the Ontario government, and the total tax that I have to pay is 1,594. Out of which I go to the bottom, I see in my T4, okay, my employer has deducted $2,500. So net I have to pay 1594, but my employer has already deducted 2500. So it's a refund. In this case, it's a refund because my employer has deducted more and I owe the government less. So this is how you basically read your T1 general. If there are any amounts that you don't understand, then yeah, please reach out to your accountant. But this is basically the whole concept of your T1 general. And the second document that I want to go through is your T1 summary. So T1 summary is also a quick summary of whatever we discussed in detail. This shows the line number on the left. So line number 15,000 says, okay, total income is 25,000. This is any deductions that I'm claiming. So this will reduce my taxable income. My net income, it will reduce my total income, which is at 25,000. So after this, if there are any deductions over here, again, this will also reduce my net income, and the total amount that I pay tax is here. It's at line 26,000. So this is the total income on which I am taxed, out of which I owe 1294 to the federal, $300 to the provincial. I owe them a total of 1594. What's the amount of tax that has been deducted? 2500, because I have paid more tax than what I owe. The difference of me for me is refunded. So this is a very quick summary of my T1 general over here. But why I like this document, the summary is also it gives me two or three very other key metrics. One is my marginal tax rate. You can look at my previous video where I've explained marginal and average tax rate. I'll put the link in the description, but this is that every $1 that I earn in this tax bracket, I'm paying 20% of tax. So say I earn $1,000 extra, I have to pay $200 in tax. And the average tax rate is nothing but the total payable. So that's 1594, 1594 divided by my total income. So that's 25,000 times 100. That's 6.36%. So the reason this is less is because the first 15,000 is not subject to tax. So that's why you'll see your marginal and average tax rate. So this really is a very important metric to understand how much of taxes, what's your tax rate and how much taxes are you paying on every additional dollar that you've earned. Another thing that I would like to highlight here, anything below the marginal tax rate, just do Control F in this and type estimate. So whatever is an estimate is basically your benefits that you might get from the government. Why do I use the word might? Is the final numbers is what is clarified to you by the CRA. The CRA communicates the numbers to you, but this as of now is an estimate. So whatever you see as a final estimate, so you see GST estimate, GST HST credit estimate, uh, this estimate, so let's say 519 plus climate action initiative in estimate 560 plus Ontario energy and property tax credit, so that's another 446 plus sales tax credit, that's another 360. So a total of 18,1885, so is what you would get over 4 different quarters. So divide by 4, so that's about $471 for every quarter that I get. So basically it's whatever I see in this line over here, the first line, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever says estimates, this again says estimates, but this is payment estimates. So this is each quarter, it's just dividing this by 4. So you can see this as a tool to see how much roughly you will be getting. But again, the CRA will communicate with you the final numbers. That is, if you look at your notice of assessment, yeah, you see your notice of assessment gives you the final number over here, which gives you your refund. And this is your one-time payment. So you'll get your refund at once, but all of your other estimates, your benefits, you will get it over the quarter. So you will see this in your CRA account. Once you have access to your CRA account, you'll be able to see your notice of assessment, your GST, HST notice, and all your other benefits, which will show you, okay, this is the final amount that you will get from the CRA. So yeah, I hope my video was helpful and you were able to learn something new today. And thank you very, very much for watching. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email ID is in the description. And if you're an existing client, yeah, you have my number. You can always reach out. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.